And so we'll talk about, the chasm that divides the two after I read from the novel. Building a Coven. I did novel write November. The book is about a mute quadriplegic who has recurring dreams about the ocean. Ocean days. His father is a take on Elon. Belon. If it's published or not, I would say it marks a shift. I am seeing literature in a different way. I always think as blue collar as possible. I strive to reduce things to simplicity. I want to write, and so I pick up a pen and write. But a great writer, a great piece of writing, requires more. You have to see it all the way through. This book marks the first time I saw it collapsed as a whole idea. Every other time I have been reaching for the future as it unfolded, groping for information and resolution. But now, it is a psychic sculpture. The quadriplegia is explained. The dreams never are. Tonight has been exceptionally anxious. When I left the show last night, I felt an acidity. Something in the air. While writing, as I always do, during my 2 hours backstage, my letters to Alistair all came flooding back. I had read that his production had halted, but only when I saw him in my mind's eye and heard him saying, "If this guy writes me again, let me know," as well as, "Okay, dude, let's do it." Only then did I do the calculus. My notebook is all but new. Only the first 6 pages or so are filled. My cast member made a joke about casting spells. Today saw me realize that the feeling I had after the show last night was in fact due to these pansy fucking actors opening my notebook and reading it while I was acting on the stage. As the day bled into the afternoon, my psychic eye could feel the depth of their shame. It infuriates me. By the time I had to go to the theater, I knew that they left me no choice but to say something. I rushed into the theater, slung my backpack down, yanked my notebook out of it, yelled, "Listen up!" and went the fuck off. I yelled until I was thrown out. I have more to say. Only one truly deserving got the full demon eye. The rest had palpable shame in their eyes. But they all heard and learned something about boundaries they should have understood already. Any man who willingly opens another man's personal and private notebook without permission has no honor and can never be trusted. It was 3 or 4 of them who looked at it, stealing Alistair's name and our association. I cursed that fucking production in my apartment before arriving, and my ears started ringing. I intended to do it on the stage. Didn't get the chance. It is a hackneyed amateur production already cursed to mediocrity, and needs no psychic stimuli from me or any sorcerer to impel its self-destruction. I decided to write one more letter to Alistair. I felt that the strongest choice was to turn it into a virtue. I mailed him a postcard I was given. Upon it I wrote, "Merry Christmas to the Hoffman family." In my artistic arrogance, I hoped he would send someone to watch me act. I did my rant as a scene and included it in the letter, wherein I lamented that he could no longer see me act, but that I did what I knew to be necessary to take back my mind. I heard him say the day it arrived, "This fucking guy's got balls!" Though I am aware he is upset about my hair, it was perfect. Everything is falling apart again. My relationship has never been more strained with my roommates. While rehearsing for Cymbeline some time ago, the boy went into my room while I was gone and stole 10 milligrams of Adderall from me. I considered saying nothing, but it felt so egregious, the violation of personal space. I told Cosio. He apologized and put a lock on the door. Now I see the door has been pried open with a flathead screwdriver. When exactly, I cannot say, but it has put me back in my rage. It's his woman. She resents I give her no power over me. If she wasn't a dog, an old beat-up battle axe of a warhorse of a bad actor, perhaps I might be stirred to sympathy, but I see how she manipulates Cosio. All the trappings of a green card chaser. Plastic allegiances forged out of necessity. Removed from love. Cold intellectual truth. The boy's a candy-ass fag in training. Soft. Unfocused. He draws and has some talent, but lacks discipline. I know they make jokes at my expense in Bulgarian. Even at home, the monkey exists in his cage. Exhibitionist, through and through. This is what I like about acting, the equal exchange. I come onto the stage, theatrical or sound, offer the interpretation, the audience watches. This is fair. In this, as with writing and music, I offer something equivalent to the depth of intrigue the public at large seems to feel for me. Often it is infuriating. I despise when I see dumb bitches across from me on the subway take pictures of me writing and adorn their bullshit post with the same smug irony plastered all over their one-dimensional faces. Other times beautiful women produce their own notebooks and stare awkwardly between their largely blank page and my ferocious intent. New Year's Eve and day have come and gone. I sat with Cosio and his little girl, 8 years old. She is a radiant ball of light, who often made jokes about me being sad, about my girlfriend leaving me, when I showed her videos of me playing guitar and singing, which made me chuckle. On New Year's Day, she shoved her juice cup towards me and said, "Bring me some wine!" To which I said, not thinking mathematically at all, "Yeah, ask me again in 10 years. She looked up at me and said, "Oh yeah, when I'm 18? I felt like a dirty old man. Should be breaking hearts in no time. I see now why Cosio's wife broke into my room. She is conniving with conspiracies. I couldn't understand it. The why. All these people violating my personal space. Why? Because I don't kiss their ass or expect or need their approval? I realized around the same time I saw the damage to the door I had bed bugs. But it took a while to put the pieces together. Could I have gotten them along the way? I guess it's possible. Highly unlikely. There's no reason for anyone to go in there. After the Adderall was stolen, I have since adopted the policy of perpetual possession to mitigate theft. There is, or was, rather, nothing in that room beyond books, the notebooks of my writing, enough clothes to last 1 week, my guitar, and that's it. Seeing as how she doesn't read or write English or play guitar, her reasoning becomes singular. Sabotage. I know she doesn't want me here anymore. I don't intrude as much as I am able. I cook sometimes. I go play guitar as much as I can. But not working 40 hours a week has seen her burn out as far as tolerance, though it is unjustified. Her frustration or despisal even. And she got her way. Though I am here currently, and she is allegedly staying in a battered women's shelter in the Bronx, though I do not know. Cosio and I have run the gambit. He wants me out and her back in, though he would not admit it. He is in Bulgaria. I'm the only one here. After I paid $870 towards a $1,000 rent, he told me I had to go before month's end. Immediately, if he had his way, and I raged again. As far as taking my money all those weeks, when I could have been looking for another place. Eventually, he agreed to give me all the money back, and we performed this piece of theater where I followed him to the bank because I no longer trusted him, watched him get a money order, and then walk away with it. I tried to take possession of it there, but he professed something fraudulent, said he would give it to me later, and walked away. As soon as he did, I knew I couldn't trust him. And so I called him back, and he didn't answer, so I left voicemails and texts saying I intended to bring the police between us to ensure I got that money. I walked to 2 precincts. The first was a vehicle yard or some such. The second one informed me that all I could do was call 911. They did not encourage me, though the opposite is true as well. When I arrived and explained, Cosio said I could stay there through the month, which is all I wanted. I do not want to be where I am not wanted. He didn't want me to stay because he wants to go to Bulgaria, but he relented, which tells me everything I need to know. That he had no intentions of giving me that money. That he was going to give me a forgery. When he finally asked me why I was sleeping in the living room, I confessed about the bed bugs. He took it okay, but we fought until the day he left, the night before. We talked most of the night. Drinking. Asking obtuse questions with no answers. I showed him Clam, and he commented on how it wasn't commercial music. Like Zappa, he said. He helped me appreciate Mozart, often talking about the crystal that is Mozart's body of work, with Requiem, the final piece, holding a special place in his heart. I set out to listen to all of them, and did listen to 1 through 7. I was struck by how short most of them are. I have yet to listen to Requiem. I know I should. So I have these few days alone in this nice apartment before I have to leave the city. I have decided to go back on the road for money. Aliester is still developing. I write when I can, though I am in penury. I appreciate Alpine for taking me back. I am stopping through Alabama to get my unrestricted driver's license. It will cost something. Hopefully, it is not too much of a headache.